The temperature is minus 30 degrees. The food ran out 3 weeks ago. The man next to you just died. Not from a bullet, from hunger. And somewhere in the rubble ahead, a Russian sniper is waiting for you to move. Welcome to Stalingrad, the place where the Second World War broke in half. It is the summer of 1942. Adolf Hitler's Germany has already swallowed most of Europe. France fell in 6 weeks, Poland in a month. Now Hitler turns his eyes east, toward the Soviet Union. He needs the oil fields of the Caucasus to keep his war machine running. And standing between him and that oil is one city on the Volga River, Stalingrad. Hitler is obsessed with it, not just because of its strategic value, but because of its name, a city named after Stalin. Taking it would be a humiliation to the Soviet leader personally. Hitler decides he must have it. Stalin decides he cannot lose it. What follows is 200 days of fighting so savage that military historians still struggle to find words for it. The German Sixth Army, one of the most powerful fighting forces on Earth, commanded by General Friedrich Paulus, arrives at Stalingrad in August 1942. They expect a quick victory. They are wrong. Soviet commander Vasily Chuikov is given an impossible order. Hold the city. No retreat. Stalin's directive is 3 words long. Not one step back. Chuikov develops a brutal tactic. He orders his men to stay so close to the Germans that the Luftwaffe cannot bomb them without killing their own soldiers. The Soviets hug the enemy. Fighting happens not in open fields, but inside factories, apartment buildings, sewers, and stairwells. Soldiers fight over a single room for days. A building changes hands 15 times in one afternoon. Men die for a staircase. German soldiers have a name for this kind of fighting: Rattenkrieg, Rat War. The most famous building in the battle is Pavlov's house, a 4-story apartment block held by a small group of Soviet soldiers under Sergeant Yakov Pavlov. They defend it for 58 days against constant German assault. Chuikov later says his men killed more Germans at that one building than the Germans lost taking the entire city of Paris. Snipers become legends in Stalingrad. Vasily Zaitsev, a Soviet sharpshooter from the Ural Mountains, kills over 200 enemy soldiers in the ruins of the city. His story becomes so dangerous to German morale that the Wehrmacht reportedly sends their top sniper from Berlin specifically to kill him. Zaitsev kills him first. But the real horror is not the fighting. It is the suffering. By winter, the temperature drops to levels that freeze weapons, engines, and men. German soldiers supplied for a summer campaign have no winter coats. They wrap themselves in newspaper. They burn furniture to stay alive. Food drops to almost nothing. Soldiers eat horses, then rats, then nothing at all. The Soviets are suffering too. Supplies reach the city only across the frozen Volga River, under constant German fire. Thousands of civilians are still trapped inside. Nobody is coming to save them. Then, in November 1942, everything changes. Soviet General Georgy Zhukov launches Operation Uranus, a massive counterattack targeting the weaker Romanian and Italian forces on the flanks of the German position. Within 4 days, the entire German Sixth Army, more than 300,000 men, is surrounded, encircled, cut off. Hitler orders Paulus to hold. No retreat, no breakout. Relief will come. Relief does not come. For 2 more months, the Sixth Army slowly dies inside the pocket. Men freeze. Men starve. Men go mad. Paulus sends desperate messages to Hitler. Hitler promotes him to field marshal and reminds him that no German field marshal has ever surrendered. On February 2nd, 1943, Paulus surrenders anyway. Of the roughly 300,000 German soldiers encircled at Stalingrad, only about 91,000 survive to surrender. Of those 91,000, fewer than 6,000 ever make it home to Germany. Most die in Soviet prisoner of war camps from starvation, disease, and cold. The last German prisoners of Stalingrad are not released until 1955, 10 years after the war ends. The survivors come home to a Germany that no longer understands what they saw. They have nightmares they cannot explain to people who were never there. They sit at dinner tables in peacetime houses and hear sounds that nobody else hears. Stalingrad does not leave the men who lived through it. It simply moves inside them and stays. One German veteran, years later, is asked what Stalingrad was like. He is quiet for a long time. Then he says, "We used to say that those who died there were the lucky ones."